What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about why I'm buying Alan Wake Remastered and why you should too. This is my series where I talk about a game or a movie before it comes out and talk about what I'm doing with it, whether I'm going to, purchase it, wait on it, absolutely not get it. And for Alan Wake, it's pretty darn easy, at least for me. I've made the decision. October is a busy month for games. There is no doubt about it. And, throughout the next several weeks, we're going to talk about a lot of the games coming out in October and whether I'm going to get them or not. And I've had to make some tough decisions, but with Alan Wake, again, for me, it really is easy. This is a game that I think, we've had games that have been, remastered that deserve it, and we've had games that have been remastered, whether they're part of collections or, otherwise, and they really, some of them don't really need it whatsoever. It's hard to build kind of excitement for something that is going to be remastered when you kind of feel in the back of your head, well, I don't really know if it should be remastered, right? Alan Wake is a game that I think it's been definitely long enough, over a decade, just slightly over a decade, but it has been over 10 years, and a game that I think, based off the trailer, and we really only have the trailer to go off of, looks phenomenal, okay? Now, really, what this completely rests on is two things. Number one is the game itself, because if the game itself sucked back then, you could remaster it and make it as nice as you possibly can now, and it still wouldn't matter. Obviously, the game back when it came out was phenomenal. I know there's a lot of people, specifically that I, see, obviously, on my channel, that never played it, which I think is fine, I think is fair. I don't think many people did play it, specifically back then. I think it's kind of gained traction over time, but I think back then, it was definitely more of a cult hit, what we would consider more of like a cult classic, and again, I don't really blame people for not getting it. This game is good. This game is really good. This game is different. This game, if you've played Control, it's a lot like Control, obviously, because of Remedy, and because that's, obviously Control. Actually, Control and Alan Wake take place in the same universe, which is really, really cool. But Alan Wake is, I would say, just an overall really solid game in every department. I would say this, like, I am definitely a fan of it, and, I've played it, which is different than some people that haven't. I don't think I'm, like, a super fan of the game. I don't think, like, it's a perfect game. I wouldn't say it was, like, my game of the year, anything like that, but I mean, the character of, Alan Wake, very solid. The gameplay, I think, is very solid and very different, and I think it's really cool. I remember back when I played it, I was afraid to go outside the first night. After that, I got okay, but like the first night, I've told the story before, I was at my friend's house. We rented this game. I rented the game for him and I to play together, I think 4 or 5 times, which was pretty fun. We didn't just buy it. I had to rent it for some reason. And the first night, we had to let his dog outside, and I think his outside light wouldn't turn on, so it was just dark. So we had to use flashlights because we were too afraid to walk out there, with the dog, which was pretty funny. But it's a game, it's immersive. It's an atmospheric game that I think works really, really well. The story is very solid. Just, again, all around very, very solid. And I guess the second part of that, really, I guess maybe there's 3 parts. The price is a good, factor of whether you should get it or not. But the second part is obviously what you've done with the remaster. Same thing, you could have a really amazing game, the opposite of what I said before. You could have an amazing game, it gets remastered, but it really doesn't feel like it was remastered at all. I think you can tell, at least I can, based off the trailer, that there are some vast improvements made to this game. This doesn't seem like a kind of like a cheap thing. This doesn't seem like they kind of copped out or did something kind of lazy. No, this looks like a legitimate remaster, like they put the effort in. So, and there's really not much more you can say other than that. And the final thing is the price. Another big factor, obviously. Well, money doesn't grow on trees, and you have to monitor your money closely. But one thing that I really respect what's happening here, and I didn't even know this until a couple days even after the trailer came out. Again, when we talk about other games getting remastered, sometimes they're in collections, sometimes there's duos, sometimes they're by themselves, and oftentimes they're full price. I won't say all the time. I won't say, I guess most times maybe is probably a valid thing to say as well. A lot of the time, whether they're collections or 2 games in a series or just 1, they put them pretty high, in terms of price. This game is $30. Now that, to me, because I will be flat out honest with you, this is a game I've already played, so when I look at a remaster, I think, okay, it comes out, I believe, 2 days before Far Cry 6, comes out a week before Back 4 Blood, comes out a week and a half before NHL, which I'm a big hockey guy, Demon Slayer, Crisis Remastered, you have House of Ashes, you have Guardians of the Galaxy, you have a lot of games, I'm sure I missed a couple as well, in October. So when I do look at a game like Alan Wake Remastered, I think you could wait on it. And even with me trying to sell the game to you right here, I don't blame you at all if you say this is a game you can wait on. You don't need to get it right away. I do think that's fair. However, when you say, well, it's a $60 full game remaster, but it's only one game, that's a tough sell. That just arguably is a tough sell because, yes, it is a remaster game, but it is a game that's already come out. When you say the game is only $30, though, to me, that I will be flat out honest with you, the $30 price point was the major decision between me getting it and me waiting till Christmas, Black Friday, January, during a more dead time of games. That was the deciding factor. With it being $30, I'm all for it. I'm getting it day one. I have no problem with that. And it's, again, because I guess in a way you really are getting a $60 value for $30, and I think that's why it makes it, at least to me, so enticing. And again, the price and money isn't everything. It's definitely a big part of it, and to some, it is the biggest part, and I have nothing against it. I think that's very valid. But then you go to the rest of the stuff, it is a really, really good game all the way around, and then you also have the fact that it does look like a legitimate remaster. It looks really, really good. So, again, I'll be getting it. I'll be playing it. We'll see what videos I can kind of come up with, with it. Hard to do that with a remaster game because it's already been out, but let me know what you guys want to see. Let me know what you guys think in general in the comments below. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on if you haven't already. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter or subscribe to my second channel or support us through Patreon or YouTube memberships, the links for all of those are in the description below. Join button is obviously next to the subscribe button. That's the YouTube memberships. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video.